first nanocarbon alloy, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Now it's gotten up to 2. That is awesome. This machine is working. We are set and ready to go. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me. It is your host, LoGames, back again with another episode of Astroneer. We are here on the Let's Play series on episode 8 now, which is awesome. We finally made it to episode 8. I'm so excited for this one. In this one, I want to take care of a machine that will create leaps and bounds for us, the machine that will make the nanocarbon alloy. We need the nanocarbon alloy to be creating RTGs and, on top of that, these large resource canisters, right? So these hold 400 of one nugget of material or resource, which is awesome. We're going to get a couple of them built up, but first we need to get this machine that takes ammonium and makes it into nanocarbon. We need the nanocarbon. That sounds like what our next step should be. So let's go over that big machine for you here. For this machine, we're going to be doing an extra large curved platform. Now on that platform, the large canister on this side, which is a 4-tier item, so we're going to put the large canister on here full of ammonium. Then we have another one full of hydrogen. That's going to be a gas canister sitting right here. And then a chemistry lab that'll be sitting on this side, right? So we'll take that chem lab and we'll put it here. That one will be set to produce the hydrazine right here, this one here. And what we've got going on here, actually, I started this right before we started recording. It's set to ammonium, each of these are, and it does take one whole canister to make one ammonium, which is kind of expensive, but we've got quite a bit of dirt here, and we'll just let that go to town. We'll get us a decent amount of ammonium to start the machine off and call it good. But it'll take the ammonium, it'll turn it into the hydrazine here. The hydrazine then will be taken, so what we're going to need is, we're going to need 5 of these guys, 5 of these large T platforms, which will we'll put each of the chemistry labs, so you're going to need 5 separate chem labs, so we'll get that printed up too. So 5 of the separate chem labs on this side, and then on this side we'll have each of the canisters filled of whatever resource it takes to make said item. So we'll need those. Then on top of that, we're going to need some auto arms, right? I think it's like 8 of them, honestly. 8 auto arms for this machine. Each of them will be used to move items from one chemistry lab to the other chemistry lab, or to move a gas from the other gas. You can either make, I believe it's like 8 or 9 of these, one for each arm and then a couple for the canisters. So I think it's actually like 13, to be honest. 13 different platform A's, or you could use platform C, right? So each of them have the 2-tier slot. Now, it's up to your choice, because this one here has 3 different connectors for power, whereas this one has 4, one on each side, but they're a little bigger in size compared to the other ones, so depends on what you want to fit where. I might go with the C's, just because I actually have some prepped and ready to go right here. So we might just work with that, but I might use that for the gas canister instead of the auto arms. We will see. We'll see what we need to connect with. 9 or 8 of these canisters here, because you're going to need to fill them with the resources, put them on top of the platforms, and then the chemistry labs can pull from them or put into them. What else are you going to need? You're going to need 2 button repeaters, and these are going to let you control the whole machine all with one click, because you're going to want to be able to turn it all on and all off all together. I think honestly we might have covered all that we need there for the machine. But if you're wondering what resources you need, because you need to start with resources in order to make the things, and it's kind of a chain reaction. And I think it takes 7 ceramic, 2 compound, 14 glass, 1 titanium, 1 nanocarbon alloy, 5 tungsten, 18 aluminum, 13 resin, 8 graphite, 8 plastic, 2 zinc, and this whole machine, roughly, when it's running, will take 23 units of power per second. I'm going to go get all those kind of set up, ready to go, and we'll start getting things printed, and then we'll get this machine built, set up. I think I want to put the machine, I might move these things around, because the machine actually would probably sit pretty nice here in this back corner. So, I'm going to get things ready, and then I will be back with you just shortly when we have everything ready to start printing. Alright, we are back. I think I have everything that we just listed off for each of the components for this build. First off, we're going to need 5 of these. So we're going to set that to repeat. Let's grab the one with aluminum and the resin. I think this has every aluminum that... I think that is the only thing that is needed for aluminum. So let's just get that guy going. We'll set it to repeat, get it going. There we go. The one thing that we're going to need also is this guy, which we're going to need nanocarbon alloy, 1 glass, and then we need the 1 titanium, which is sitting here. We'll get that guy printed. So that's the 1 canister that we're going to fill up with ammonium. Other things we're going to need to print up are the auto arms, which is the graphite, and the aluminum as well. Oh, that's right. That's what some of that is for. We'll just take 8 of them off there, and 8 to make the 8 auto arms that we need. The auto arms here, get those printing. We're going to leave the platforms for now, just in case. We'll only make them when needed. But the plastic and the glass, we'll put these on there. Now that one can print up. We'll set him to repeat. Oh, that's the zinc. I think that's also in there. Yeah, that one should be running too. So we'll get that guy printing. So there's our buttons, which those are done immediately. That's crazy. I didn't realize they work that fast. So there's our buttons, and then we'll do the resource canisters, set those on repeat, get them printing. I know it's a lot, but we'll get it all printed up here, and that should be everything we need. And then, now that that one's printed, let's switch over to the Chem Labs. So that one takes the tungsten, the ceramic, and the glass, which we have all on this guy here. That should be good to go. We'll just set that to repeat, just like this. Go. I think I unlocked. I did. I'll lock that back down. And then this guy is the 2 compound and the 2 ceramic. So this one's the only one that we have something that's coming out of the large printer. So we'll get that guy going. And I believe, honestly, that should be all of our materials that are needed. We might have too much glass on that side, so we're going to have to get that back. But 1 auto arm, 2 auto arm, 3 auto arm, 7, and 8. So that's all of our auto arms that we needed. We got our canisters here. I think that'll be enough for all of that. Big canister. There's the 4th. Should be the 5th one printing. There's going to be 5 of those guys as well, so we got those printing. Quite a bit of stuff going on. Let's get this while we're waiting. Let's get this area here in the corner kind of situated and ready to go. So these guys both, let's get them completely out of the way. Let's just go over here with them. Let's get these 2 guys kind of moved out of the way. Eventually, we're going to pack this guy up and bring it to Glacio for our automated research thing that we were talking about. Because I'm really not going to need it here. I'm not really planning on bringing anything back for research purposes. So we'll just get all this moved over out of the way. Let's get some of the platforms in here. Alright folks, so everything behind me should be what we need to build this nanocarbon machine. We do have 86 ammonium, which is a pretty decent start, to be honest. We don't need a ton right off the bat. I do only want to get a few nanocarbon made up right away, but hopefully that's enough to start the machine. So we'll just get going here on the build. So this is the start, right? This is where we're going to start it all off. We might be able to squeeze the whole thing in here, honestly. So we're just going to put that right there. I do want to just get it connected up real fast, just to something. So that way we have oxygen, because I don't want to keep going back and forth. So we grab that guy there. Perfect. So now we are connected. We've got the starting platform, which we are going to put this guy on. That'll have that there. Hydrogen, so we'll put that on this side. And then a chemistry lab. So that'll go like that. Open it up, and away we go with that. Perfect. That one will be needed to set to hydrazine, just like that. We'll set it to repeat, and we won't turn it on yet. We'll just set it to repeat. That way when we push the button, it should just run. Let's get one of these out. We'll set that one like this. Open it up. Turn it around, and this one here is going to need, actually might have to scoot it over just a bit. So open that guy up. Let's get an auto arm out, because this thing's going to stick out, and that's where it's going to grab it from. So there we go. This can be backed up then. Lock those 2 down. Those are ready to go. And then you're going to need the canister. This will be the graphite canister. And then we will need a solid fuel and soil, and that one will sit just like this. And that one will collect the hydrazine. And then this will have the graphite. That one then needs to be set to graphene. So we'll set it to graphene. We'll set it to repeat. That one's ready to go. And get set something like that. And then again, we will do... We're only going to need the C with the arm on it. So then we'll take these 2 out. Open these 2 up. So that one can face something like that. And it'll stick out. It'll grab it. And then it'll be placing, lock that down, lock that down. That should be in the right spot. We'll plug it in. And we'll get the chemistry lab out. So then this one's going to take the graphene from here onto this one. So this one's taking graphene onto this one. And this one's going to be set to perfect titanium alloy. And then we'll just set it to repeat. It will be dispensing 1 and 2. So one will take graphene, one will take the titanium, and then as well, you're going to need nitrogen on this one. So what you do, to save space, what I do is I put it on the wall. Because it should just stick real nice somewhere. Kind of like that. Big thing of nitrogen, and that's why we prep these ahead of time, because it was for this. So we'll put that guy there. And it'll be sitting like that. But then what you're going to need is an auto arm. And I think on this one, actually, just so I can have it powered, just because I like to see everything powered. You're going to need an auto arm that's going to put the nitrogen onto this Chem Lab. So this one will go like this, and it'll go backwards this time. You're going to take from green, give it to blue. So in theory, that should actually just work just as is. So then we're going to grab this and plug it into the side. So that's that one, and then we're going to be running, this one will be the nanocarbon one. So what we're going to do is, and that one we set to, there we go, nanocarbon set to on. Then what you're going to need is the, and let's just take another C, honestly will work. And same old game, let's just put, yeah, that'll work. And then let's just lock those two in, and then we're going to plug it in. So let's plug this one in here. This side in there. Now that one's good to go. So the other one then is going to need, oh, this one also is going to need the helium, right? So let's get that. Helium can be set right back in the corner. Unpack it. We don't have a big canister for the helium just yet, so we're going to have to print those up. Let's get the auto arm in for that one, and I think for that we're going to use another A because it's got more connectability. Let's grab an auto arm, put it on there. This one's going to be set reversed again, grabbing from and then going to the Chem Lab. Okay, so there we go. That'll grab from there, dispense to there. What I want to do also is I want to put one of these lights up in the back here. Plug that guy in so that way we're going to have light when we need it. Lock it in place, and that's where you put the helium. The helium will put onto here. Good to go. Then this Chem Lab will be the side of the iron and the steel. So we're going to grab that out. Grab this round, and we'll just set this one off to the side again, because this one is just steel, so you'll need to put iron and carbon. Alright, it's going to take from this Chem Lab then, and place it on the back of this one. So let's have it kind of, actually that's almost perfect right where it's at. Yep, there we go. And then this one can run from there to there, this one runs to there to there, so now that's all powered. Let's lock that in place. We are going to need another auto arm and another canister because this one needs argon, right? So let's set it to steel. Steel, steel, steel. There we go. Iron, carbon, argon. So we're going to set that to repeat. It's going to need both of these guys. And it's going to need an auto arm to grab from the gas to the machine. Then this guy can sit something like this. And this can go up in here. Plug it in, let's plug it into the side. That way we have these two accessible. So that one will run from the helium, or sorry, from the argon into the machine. Then we are missing our canisters. I don't know why I didn't think about that ahead of time. Okay. So we should have all the canisters on in the right spots. Let's just do a quick run. Okay, so this one's going to create the hydrazine. The hydrazine then will be grabbed from this guy. So that's now filtered, so it only grabs hydrazine. The only reason we need to filter it is because some of these might overlap, and they might grab a resource from another thing. You don't want it to do that, so I'm just going to kind of filter what they're grabbing to make sure they're only grabbing what they're supposed to grab. Then we'll be creating graphene. Graphene, we can actually just grab one of our spare ones from here, there, and that one will be grabbed the graphene. The graphene then will be dispensed onto the back. The back will then be loaded with titanium and graphene, and then the nitrogen on there. The auto arm only needs to grab that. That one then will create the titanium alloy, which we'll put titanium alloy on here and call that one good. This one then needs the hydrogen, right? I think that's, yeah, this is the nanocarbon alloy, yep. So this one will need the helium, sorry, the helium here. That one is going to need the argon, which we do have a canister for. This then will grab steel from here, place it on the back. This one will create nanocarbon, which leads us to the last part of the puzzle. Well, aside from putting the buttons in. I guess that's the last part of the puzzle. But that's a whole separate story. That's making sure that you get everything connected to the one power source. So what you can do then is grab this guy, and this guy will be where you get your nanocarbon. If you want to, you could make another. It'd be crazy, the amounts that it would have to run to fill a full 400. But you could put essentially like one of these platforms. What is it, a large platform A? Yeah, a little 4-tier slot guy. You could put one of these large canisters here, and it would do the same. It would fill it onto that. But I don't really see myself creating over 400 plus. Maybe eventually. We'll just we'll get a thing going for a 400 plus one. But all you really need right away is just a canister like this, and that one will create the nanocarbon. It'll all fill into here. So hopefully, in theory, this whole machine is set up. I just need to put the components in. So let's get that going here. So this one needs graphite. Put that in. And then this guy is going to need the titanium. So grab this out. We'll take the titanium. We'll put that back in its place. And then graphene will get put onto there. That'll go from there to there. So there's the titanium alloy. Let's quickly grab the iron. So I think we actually have, I'm just going to use a spare one because we should have a ton. And then the carbon, right? I think we should have a pretty decent amount of carbon. I'm just going to switch them out. So we have the steel there, and we'll filter that one so it's only picking up steel. Let's put the argon back on that one. Okay, so everything should be, in theory, so we got the steel loaded up, got the helium, or the argon, they got the helium loaded in the back, so that one will pull from there. These are empty because they're not going to be filled yet, which those will come in and put that there. Nitrogen, connected to the nitrogen canister, should be good to go. Titanium is good to go, loaded up. Then the graphene will fill from there. The hydrazine will take from here, and then this one has the graphene. You know, I think we're set. So I'm gonna put the one button here. So this is gonna be the main controller, because this is where you're gonna come in. Is this is where I plan to stand. You click it, should all turn on. Eventually, because I think each button has 12 uses. So eventually we're gonna run out of uses, and it's gonna connect to this one here, and we're just gonna put it around the inside, call it good. So, and how you do this, let me teach you how to use a button real fast. So, if you want to, you could put it on each individual machine, right? And it'll all turn on all simultaneously. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one right in here. Actually, let's just hide it, kind of, oops. And you hit F to hit a segment. And so you'll see down here, as you branch from this one, and what I do is I put it on each of the platforms. So, what that does is if you want to see here, let's just make sure that this is not set to, okay. Yeah, we'll just do it so it doesn't take it. If you see here, this will turn both on and turn both off, which will also run the chemistry lab while it's on it too. So if you take this, set it to repeat, now this will turn on. When these turn on, they'll turn off altogether. It works great. So I connect them to the platforms, and that's what I'm gonna do real fast. I'm just gonna go around, connect these to the platforms here, go to each one, and if you want, you can put them down on the bottom or on the top. It's whatever, because there is space. I mean, if you want to hide it, check this out. If you want to hide the button, you could take the thing off, put it on the platform, put this back on, and it does hide the button, which actually that is kind of cool. I do like that. I'm gonna do that. Plug it in like that. There we go. So that now will chain this button to turn it on, and that whole chain from that button will then activate. So those should all be connected now. And if you want to, you can also connect it to this guy here. But like I said, for now we're going to leave it unconnected so it doesn't just like start grabbing stuff from other things, because it will grab anything it wants. All right, and that should be everything. Everything is all connected together, I do believe. We shouldn't have any issue there. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's run the first benchmark test and see if everything turns on. One click, all arms turn on, everything should run. All the gases are getting ready, everything should be in place, ready to go. So you'll see it create graphene. Graphene should go from there into that canister. that canister into this machine, and this one was not set to repeat. I apologize. There we go. Let's just make sure the rest of them are set to repeat. Repeat, and you are not, so that one's set. And then turn it on, because that's what it should have done when we did it. So then the titanium alloy into there, and it does that. Perfect. And the steel, eventually. So everything is running. It does take, I believe, like we said, it's 23 power per second. It is kind of a hefty machine, but we're making nanocarbon automatically. Look at that. There it is. This is the first nanocarbon. That one's going to filter, and then after that, we'll just let her run in the background and see what we get out of it. There we go. So then let's actually segment this right now. Now, we're just going to let this run for a little bit in the background, let it go. I do want to connect, let's just connect an RTG to something. That way it's powered. Actually, let's not do that quick. There is an open, whoa, quick spin. There's an open platform in the back here, so we're just going to do that. That way we're getting a decent amount of power for sure. And we got our first in the canister here. First nanocarbon alloy, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Now it's gotten up to 2. That is awesome. This machine is working. We are set and ready to go. Do we still have, oh, we're running out of our last graphite. So there's our last one. So actually this is, what are we at? 6? You know, we're just going to turn it off for now because something is set wrong. We do have to just fill it up, I think, and that was the issue, is a lot of those things were empty, but 7 nanocarbon alloy, pretty decent. I mean, you don't need a ton, really. So we'll just put this on here, put this side on this, and then let it open. Eventually, we're going to produce so much nanocarbon that we are going to get large canisters for a lot of our resources and that kind of thing. But for now, that'll work. That one's empty. Let's get a couple of RTGs produced. And just like that, we're going from 1 RTG to 8. So I'd say that's pretty good. No time at all that took to do all that. So there's all of our RTGs. Those look beautiful, awesome. There we are. Yep, 3 steels. So we'll just print that up real fast. And then we should have a pretty decent power boost to our base. So like right now, we're only producing 30. That's with the wind running. Boom, whole bunch of power. And then let's just put that connected to here. And that addition to our power should put us at like 60. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this whole machine produces nanocarbon, takes 23, and that if we let that run, that's going to produce. So we are going to need quite a few. Eventually, we're going to need a whole lot of these batteries too, and I think that's how we're going to do it. Is we're going to do a bunch of medium batteries, and then just have like 1 or 2 towers of RTGs, and that will produce enough power to have things running here and there. And then when I'm running like the whole base all together, we'll have the battery bank, and it should roughly be able to withstand the power usage that we're doing. So that's cool. Let's think about then Glacio. Let's prep all that. We can run 10 of these guys, because I think we found like 4 stalagmites with 3 on them, and then there was another one with like 2. But I think we can run 10 of these guys. Let's pack him up. And what does it take to make a research chamber? 1 resin, 2 compound. So for 8 more, we're gonna need 16 compound for sure. We're also gonna need to use the resin. Whoa there. That was not what I wanted to grab. So plug that in there. Plug that in there. Plug that into that side. And that's gonna print us up the 8 labs that we're gonna need. There's the 1. And then let's think about the platforms that we're gonna need while we're there. We could get away with just putting them all on platform A's, I think. So we're definitely gonna need an auto arm, or maybe 2. Should we do 2? No, we're only gonna need 1 auto arm per stalagmite. So we are set to repeat. Just turn it on. Turn this one on to auto arm as well. Instead of printing all of the platforms here back, because we're gonna need a platform for each of these, and that's just a whole nother story. So 30 resin will get us or 20 resin will get us the platforms. Then we have the research chambers. The extra 30 can be used on these little guys. We'll make some platforms while we're there, so that's cool. Put the auto arms on here, and those are ready to go. So we have the auto arms. We're gonna have the resin for the all the platforms. We've got the chambers ready to go. The only other thing would be the power. And I think instead of running like at max power, because it's not going to be needed, they can take longer if they want for now, and then we'll go back and eventually put all the RTGs, because 10 of them at 2 units of power per second, I think, or is it 3? Did we check? No, it's 2. It's 2 units of power per chamber. It's going to be 20 units of power. Then an additional 6 for each auto arm, because they each take 1 unit of power per second while active. So it's going to take, you know, a mass majority of these RTGs. So I think right away, we'll just run it off of 2 RTGs. I think that would be fine. It's 2 RTGs right away, and then some wind power. So let's take this guy out. That can stay on this planet. What else will we need while we're on Glacio? We've got everything for the chambers. We've got the auto arms on there. We've got the RTGs, because we're just going to run 2 of them right away. We're running off the 2 RTGs and then the wind power as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this guy with us for the RTGs, right? Is that what I want to do? Pack that guy up. Let's put him on there. And there we have it. I think that is all we're going to need to do. Let's fill our thing quick, since we have all that extra hydrazine. Or the ability to... Why do you always do that to me? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that is going to do it for today's episode. I think we're going to save... We're all loaded up and ready to go. And I think we're going to save the whole Glacio run for the next episode. But we did get a lot done this episode. I'm super happy. This guy went up. First try, it worked. It seemed like a weird bug where it was dropping things off the back here. Which, not excited. We'll figure that out, but... Thank you all for watching. If you did like this episode, smash that like button. Let me know. Thumbs it up. If you want to, comment. And then let your friends know too. Share it with a friend that we're out here episode 8 now. And moving on to episode 9. So that one will be coming here shortly as well. But thank you all so much for watching. And this is your host, LoGames, signing out. Thanks again.